I'm looking at the Jewish husbands, they're afraid to laugh. When you tell jokes to Gentiles, they laugh. Jewish husbands don't laugh. They have to get permission from their wives. A Jew never laughs unless he looks at his wife first. Isn't he funny? He's funny, isn't he? He's not. I thought he was. It's up to you. It so happens that I like him. I don't. I thought I did. They don't even order food without permission from their wives. Before a Jew orders food, they always look at her first. Do I like this?
Jackie Mason. Oh my gosh. This is incredibly exciting. Jackie Mason is on Israel Hour Radio. Jackie, are you there?
Right. Here I am.
It's so great to talk to you. First of all, Jackie, I need to let you know that it is such a thrill to speak to you. I have been listening to your recordings since, I was about 7 years old. Anytime my family went anywhere, you were playing in the car. We quote your lines for just about every family occasion that we ever have, and I am a lifelong fan, so thank you for joining us.
That's beautiful to hear. Thank you.
Jackie, you are on your way to B.B. King Blues Club next Saturday night. We'll talk about that in just a minute. The first thing I need to ask you, we are an Israeli music show. We love Israel. We talk about Israel. I know you feel about Israel the same way. Have you been to Israel lately, and what are your observations about what's going on these days?
In Israel about 6 months ago. I'm very relieved because, thank God, you don't hear about bombings every 10 seconds like you used to. And there's very few terrorism attacks, and you don't see Israeli lives getting lost for nothing on the streets, in front of coffee shops, and on top of buses and every place in the neighborhood. Thank God it all calmed down, and we're not losing any lives on the streets of Israel like we used to. So thank God for Netanyahu, because we have a good, tough guy in charge, and he doesn't take any crap from anybody, and he's really running the show in a brilliant way. So I'm very happy about what's happening in Israel now. We're not afraid of them. Everybody else is afraid of us. But not only that, we made a great partnership lately with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia used to be one of our main enemies. Now they became one of our great friends. And things are getting a lot better in the whole area.
You're absolutely right, and thank God things are going well. But Israeli politics, Jackie, it doesn't always go so well. What are your thoughts on the political system?
It's always a fiery thing, just like it is in this country.
Right.
Politics is never an easy business. Politics involves these egomaniacs who are fighting for status and power, and that's never going to calm down. I don't think the Jews are going to be any different than the Goyim of the world. I don't think you're going to find normal people in politics. Once a guy is in politics, he's fighting for his life. I would say they would rather commit suicide than lose power. They'd rather go out of business, and they'd rather get lost. They'd rather be hanging from a tree than lose an election. That disease will never change. You don't see a normal person going into politics. A Jewish accountant is not the kind of a person that you'll suddenly see running for political office. Once a guy announces he's running for political office, I watch him very carefully because I want to make sure he doesn't run under a truck. If God forbid he loses an election.
Well, yeah, and sometimes Israeli politics can be funny enough in itself, but and so can American politics. And I know you've been a fan, I think, of Donald Trump. What do you think now that he's in office for about a year?
I think he's doing remarkably good. I think he's doing, and let's be honest about it. As far as a Jew like me is concerned, he's the best thing that ever happened, because nobody will protect Israel, I think, with more tenacity and determination than this man. He doesn't even. I think he forgot that he's even a Gentile, because he acts more like a Jew than any Jew. There's a lot of Jews who are not too crazy about Israel, and a lot of Democratic Jews booed Israel at the convention. I don't know if you remember that. At the Democratic convention, do you remember how they booed Israel when it was mentioned among the Democrats? Because there's plenty of them are Jewish. And they feel like somehow we're an occupying power, and that we have no business being there. It's hard to believe that there are so many Jews who are enemies of Israel. If a Gentile felt that way, you would say he's an anti-Semite. When a Jew feels that way, you think he's entitled to his opinion. It's not an opinion, it's a sick hate. And because there's always a percentage of self-conscious Jews who feel that we're making too much money, and therefore we're persecuting people. But these are very sick Jews, and thank God they're not ruling the roost today. And Trump is exactly the opposite. He's very proud of his Jewish son-in-law, and this Jewish son-in-law is turned out to be one of the most important people in his life. A 30-year-old kid is now in charge of policy of the whole Middle East. I don't know if he deserves the job, but somehow he got the job because Trump is so thrilled and delighted to have a Jew in the family that he gives him a job whether he deserves it or not. Whether he deserves it or not, he's now the boss of the whole situation. He probably is not exactly sure what his job is. He probably doesn't even know what's going on there. But somehow they made him in charge because he's the son-in-law. And Trump is delighted. He's delighted with anything anybody could do for Israel. And if he doesn't know what he's doing, they'll make him the boss anyway.
Well, what about outside of Israel? I mean, we know that his record is very good. How about in the rest of the way he's running the country?
How about, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
With the outside of Israel, what do you think of Trump's record so far?
Trump's record so far, I think, is great. Take a look how the economy is doing 3 times as good as it did under him. We had 1% growth under Obama. The last couple of months, we already have 3% growth. That's quite a jump. The economy is doing remarkably better even before his tax cuts came in. This is mostly because of the anticipation of what Trump represents in terms of the economy. They know that a guy who can make so much money must know something about the economic system and will know a lot more about what to do for the economy than a guy like Obama, who didn't even know that he was president. He didn't even know which country he represented, because under him, this country accomplished nothing any place. We had wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. He didn't even hear about the war. He never mentioned those wars. He never spoke to the generals. Do you know the generals in that area? It's unbelievable. They said they never even heard from him. I'm not exaggerating. This is not a joke. They actually said this, that they never even heard from him. He never even knew or cared about what's going on over there. Imagine if I send you to a war, because the president is actually sending those kids to a war. He's in charge. And then doesn't even care to find out what's happening to the people he even sent there. Now, this guy probably never knew that he was the president once he got elected. He wanted the job not to do the job. He wanted the job so he could have the job, so he could be a president. He wanted the glory of the presidency, but he didn't want the job of the presidency. The job of the presidency, he decided, is none of his business. But this guy is really working at it. He's working day and night. You ever see a guy as busy as Trump? Every 10 seconds he's accomplishing something. They don't know what, but all they know is that something is about to happen. Under Trump, something happens every 10 seconds. He's either coming from somewhere or going back or coming forth or making a speech or having a fight or telling people off. He's abusing or fighting with somebody every 10 seconds, and 10 minutes later, he accomplishes something. He actually accomplishes things. The economy is booming, and now that he's got this tax bill about to pass, you're going to see the economy really fly, because he's doing something that's really going to make a difference. When the corporations go down from 35% to 20%, you're going to see business booming and flying, and you're going to see people working better and harder than ever, and you're going to see people's salaries going up, and you're going to see the middle income tax, the middle income workers, and the lower income workers, and the poor. They're all going to get raises and make more money, and everything is going to be booming. I predict that months from now, you're going to see his numbers go up, and you're going to see his support go up tremendously in this country. Now he's got only like 38% or 40%, and you'll see in 6-10 months from now, you're going to see suddenly his numbers are going to be 55% and 60%.
All right, Jackie, I need to ask you about one more thing that's going on in the news today, and that is all of the sexual misconduct that's going on in Hollywood and in politics. You must have an opinion about that.
I have an opinion about that. I say it's good for this country.
All right.
You know why? Because it keeps everybody fascinated and gives, and then all of a sudden, every newspaper became like a porno magazine. I'm ashamed to be seen reading a paper because they're so graphic about every detail. I think the white penis was never mentioned so much in the history of this country. You would never know that people have any other parts of their body. Every second line in every paper is about a penis. Did you ever see that mentioned so many times in your life?
That may be the first time that was mentioned on this show.
You thought everybody you thought was a normal person turned out to be a sex maniac. It's unbelievable how many sex maniacs there are, and this is among the highest class of people. If the highest class of people are so wild and so insane about sex, I'm wondering what's going on with the middle-income people and the average person in this country. When you read the papers, it feels like the whole world is one big hula house.
So I guess you think this isn't going to go away anytime soon. This is a problem we're going to be left with for a while.
Well, would you take it personally if I'm going to have to tell you that I want to leave you now? Because at this stage in life, you get tired very fast.
Jackie, so, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. It was a thrill to talk to you. Your next Saturday night at BB King Blues Club, I can't wait to hear what you have in store for all of us.
King's Club, no, isn't that nice? It's nice of you to mention. I forgot all about it. I was so busy talking about everything else, I forgot that I'm working there Saturday night. BB King's, that's right. Thanks for mentioning it. So I appreciate the whole opportunity to talk to you and let everybody hear what I got to say. So thanks a lot, and the best of luck to you, my friend.
Thank you so much, Jackie Mason. A thrill to talk to you. It'll be next Saturday night at BB King Blues Club. Thank you for joining us on Israel Hour Radio. And moving on with more incredible Israeli music.